Hey Posh Hearts! Okay, we are going to be talking about home parties today. And the reason why we are talking about home parties is very specifically because we have some really great hostess specials going on through October. So birthday month, so we have tons of promos that have started since yesterday, and several of which are very important to you and something that you might want to be taking advantage of, especially with home parties in general, right? So home parties obviously are kind of, I think, the best, one of the best investments of time that you can put into your business, because there obviously is prep work, and then there's actual time at the party, and then there is um, time after, right? Like follow up, delivering, etc., etc. So there is more time spent than just the hour or two that you spend at the party, but your return on investment is usually a lot better than any other thing that you're going to do. So home parties really should be a very good slice of your business, and something that I feel like we don't talk about a whole lot as a team, just because we are a very social media heavy team. I do want to remind all of you guys how important home parties are, and how it's not as scary as you might think to get out there to do them. Okay, so I'm an introvert, a lot of our team members are introverts, but home parties are a perfect setting for introverts, I think, because this is where you can get that one-on-one time with your customers. And when you can talk to people, you get to reach out into your cold market in a setting that is very fun, very relaxed, very low key. So there's not a whole lot of pressure. Now, it obviously depends on how you're doing, how you're running your party and stuff like that. But I do want to let you guys know that doesn't have to be scary. This is something that every single person can do, and it doesn't have to be like a fiesta of any kind. It can be super relaxed, super low key, and just fit your mood better. So if you're kind of intimidated by home parties because you're just like, I don't know what games to play, I don't know what I should be doing with all of this stuff, it's not as scary as you might think. Yes, and if you're comfortable with the hostess, it's going to be amazing. And obviously, the hostess, something to keep in mind if you're not super, like, if you don't know their hostess very well, then something to keep in mind is their hostess invited you into their home. Your hostess is like basically your best friend at the party, because they're the ones that are hosting. They chose you to host with. They're inviting you into their home, and they're introducing you to their friends and family. So they already have that kind of like bond and trust with you, and you just need to kind of foster that relationship. So having that pre-prep for the home party is going to really help you with that, right? But yeah, it doesn't have to be super scary, okay? So let me just talk about a few of the reasons why you need to look at home parties, and especially home parties in October, okay? Now, I say home parties are a great return on investment, because they should be the heart of your business. They are where they really should be where your bread and butter is at, because you're going to spend a couple hours at somebody's house hanging out, doing masks or whatever you're doing. You know, you're basically like, it's a reason for you to have a girls' night. That's what I always say. But a couple of hours can turn into, hundreds in sales. And even that is just amazing, because your hostess is going to earn lots of freebies. Her guests are going to be able to earn, they're going to be able to try everything. They're going to get Posh, like basically get Posh on them, so that they can purchase, versus an online party where they don't really get to try everything or look at everything, right? So the hostess benefits, the customers benefit, and then you benefit because you get that one-on-one time. You get to help these customers find exactly what they're looking for. And your hostess, yes, you guys, all the comments are awesome. The hostess is your key to a successful party. Yes. So you need to connect with your hostess. You need to have that pre-planning involved. But the things that I want you guys to be aware of for October, is that on top of the regular hostess perks that the hostess gets, they are also going to get even more freebies for hosting. So additional, and basically they get additional, okay. All this information is in the newsroom, so if you guys are not fully following me, you guys can check out the newsroom in the promotions and stuff, or in the promotions tab, sorry. But hostesses can earn an additional 100 in free Posh. So if they are hosting in October, they can get just more. They can get more freebies like the Spooky Posh products, more perks. They can get a flat of fizzies. How amazing is that? So it's just like bonuses, right? So that's a great bonus for your hostesses hosting in October. Some great bonuses for you for hosting, or for, I guess, booking in October is the free Sassy set. With a if you hit 600, oh my gosh, the first 6,000 consultants to hit 600 PV will get a free Sassy set. So you could totally use that Sassy set for yourself, or you can use it for your customers. Like you could have a battle of the hostesses, and maybe the top hostess gets to pick her Sassy that she wants. Does she want the Sassy soap? Does she want the Sassy hand cream? You know, and it's kind of a fun way to kind of, you know, do that, right? Reward your hostesses and your customers for hosting. Okay. All right, so Jamie, you have awesome ideas in the comments. Sorry, I'm kind of going back and forth, but yes. So let me talk about how you're going to be able to book something on your calendar. This is one of those things where you kind of have to be proactive about it, and you really need to like approach it like you would proactive recruiting or intentional recruiting, team building. You're going to have to ask people. You can't just post a generic graphic, or even just any graphic or a post, and just be like, I'm booking, who wants to book? You know, who wants to set a date? I don't think a lot of people have that type of personality to be like, oh, sure, I'm going to have a party at my house for stuff that I don't know anything about, or have very little idea of what it is, right? So you really need to kind of get together some people that you have in mind and ask them to host an event for you. Ask them to host a girls' night, a pampering session, or a spa night, something like that. You can avoid the party word altogether and ask them to have some friends over for a spa night. And this is a great place for you to try facials. Yeah, totally. People are more likely going to do facial products in a fun, safe place, which is what home parties are. People, yeah, you can have themes, so that can kind of just be super fun for everybody. Mask and margaritas on an evening, masks and mimosas during the day, super fun, Jamie. Facial parties are super fun. Petty parties are super fun. You can theme it in any way you want. You don't have to theme it if you don't want. But these are just kind of ideas to kind of get you kind of rolling there. So if you have any hostesses in mind, I do recommend that you reach out and ask them, hey, I think it'd be so much fun to do a girls' night with you, to get you some free Posh. Like, what do you think? Or is October good for you? You know, I have some dates available. Does this day or this day work better for you? You know, and try to get some of those calendars on, or calendars. Try to get some of those booked in the month, so that you can have a great start to the month, and then be able to really just front load your calendar. You know, get everything done in the very first part of the month, and then at the end of the month you're going to be able to follow up. You're going to be able to kind of push for your goals, but you're not going to be scrambling to hit your goals at the last week of the month. You want to try to do it earlier if you can. So scheduling in home parties is going to be a really great way for you to do that. Okay, now if you are loving the ideas and loving the themes, but you're like, dude, that sounds super hard or super scary, or I have never done that, I have no idea what to do, you're not alone. Because I don't know how many people can say that they've ever hosted a petty party, or a mask party or anything like that. But what I do recommend for you, especially for you to do, is to try it. Get outside your comfort zone and try. It doesn't have to be a themed party. It could just be a girls' night, and it could be, maybe you ask your best customer or your best friend or a family member or somebody to host an event, and so that you can, one, get out of your house and to get some experience. Something that I do want to I guess remind you is that let your hostesses and potential hostesses know that there is no pressure, that your ultimate goal is to have fun and to spread the pampering love, the posh love. At least it is for me, and I think that for most of you, that's really the goal, is to get out there, get some more experience, and to get posh on the people, right? So if your hostess is a little bit weary and she doesn't want to book anything yet because she just doesn't think it's going to do well, she doesn't think her friends will come, she doesn't think that anyone will buy anything, she doesn't think she'll hit 400 for the referral bonuses, you know what? That's okay. What I tell my hostess is that, you know what? I'm there to hang out. I am there to help you pamper yourself and your customers. I'm going to pamper the crap out of you, basically, right? And just enjoy a nice evening with the girls. And there's very little to no pressure, and that I'm just there to hang out, and if that's something that you think would be fun, then let's get something on the calendar. I also personally love to pamper my hostess and give her a gift for hosting. So all my hostesses will get a gift just for hosting. So that kind of helps ease their fears of not getting anything out of it, right? And my way of doing that can be, and your way of doing that can be anything. It can be product, it can be a deluxe sample pack, it can be a really cute pampering set that you got from the dollar store. It really can be a variety of different things, but this is it's like the thought that counts, right? Something to show your hostess that you appreciate them, and that the fact that they are inviting you into their home is really like amazing, and you want to thank them for that. So having that thank you helps kind of ease their fears of I guess failing, I guess. I think some hostesses worry that they're not going to do well and that it's going to waste your time. But really, if you let them know that you want the experience and you just want to get out there, then it's going to help them feel a little bit more comfortable about booking something, right? And then staying in contact with your hostess after you've gotten them on the calendar is very important. Okay, hostess coaching and having I guess educating your hostess a little bit more about your expectations and what you want from them, is so that you guys are all on the same page, is very important. Because as much as, yes, I'll do all the work kind of thing at the party, I do expect them to do a few things too, right? Try the samples that I give you, hand out the samples that I give you, talk to people about coming to the party, like personally invite people instead of sending out a mass invite. Personally talk to people, follow up, make sure people are coming, remind them that the party's coming up, let them know that there is no expectations, they don't need, they don't need to expect you to be sitting there with order forms ready to go, because that's just not how most of our parties go. And I don't even do it. I don't even hand out catalogs and order forms. I have them to the side if they want them, but that's not something I'm handing to every single person that walks in, right? My goal is to talk to people and to see what they need help with. Some people are weary, but once they kind of start trying things, maybe that they're going to start asking questions. And then you can help them, and then it becomes like a one-on-one with each person at the party, which is awesome. That's what you want, because my goal is to help people feel pampered and to remember that they deserve to take care of themselves, right? And this is a very easy way to do that. So I love having that one-on-one time with my customers. So that makes it so much easier for me to approach a home party as an introvert, because I know that I'm not like the entertainer. I'm not going to be the center of attention the entire time. That is really not the way that my parties run. And I think that that's kind of how you want your parties to be approached anyway, is that it's a very interactive experience. So think of it like that. If you guys are kind of worried, it's an interactive experience, and you need to pull in your hostess so that they know that as well, that they are there to help you, and that you are there to help them. It's a mutual, I guess, mutual understanding, right? And so, yeah, that hostess coaching is very important. I do recommend that you guys take a look at different hostess coaching tips and tricks and trainings and stuff, because there's a lot of different ways that other premiers and stuff have approached it. But really, just keeping contact with your hostess before the party, leading up to the party, and then obviously afterward to follow up is really important, and it's going to lend to a more successful home party. Okay. Your hostess should know about Posh, but she also should know that she should talk to people about Posh. And maybe she doesn't realize that some of her friends and family don't know anything about what Posh is, and that maybe she should talk to them, tell them what her favorite products are, and that you don't want to be like holding the limelight the entire night. You want her to feel comfortable sharing her tips and tricks as well. Okay? So yeah, the mutual thing, okay? Awesome, Laura. Yes, so Laura said that her hostess had better luck this past week by sending personal invites. Yes, yes. Sometimes you just need to remind people to do that, and maybe that they're worried about it too. But if they're like wanting people to come to their house, they have to be somewhat comfortable talking one-on-one with that person, right? So they, remind them to follow up and to personally invite their friends and family to the event, so that their friends and family feel that exclusive invite and that they are welcome to the party. Okay, so that hostess coaching is super important. During the party, whatever you guys decide to do during the party is up to you. There's a lot of different ways that you can do it. You can have a very set way of everyone trying the different products. You can have a theme. You can do games. You can do whatever you want and whatever style works the best for you. But if you are scared of doing home parties and you've never done a home party before, I do think that keeping it simple so that it doesn't stress you out is going to be important, because the people there are going to notice if you are stressed, or if you're feeling like, I don't know, not fully, like you don't feel comfortable with what's going on, right? Like if you're doing a party with games and you're not super comfortable with the games because you're not that kind of like extroverted person, the people at the party are going to get that vibe. They're going to feel that vibe. So if you are brand new and you just don't really know, I just want to encourage you guys to keep it simple. Doesn't have to be super crazy. You don't need to worry about massive, like, amazing themes or decorations or anything like that. A plate of cookies and and some girl time is totally fine. For me, I do a little spiel at the beginning just to introduce everyone, and in fact, I even tell people, like, here's my spiel, like, here's the thing to know, right, about Posh, because I ask people, like, who here has not tried Posh, who is unfamiliar with it. Some people will be like, well, I've seen that thing that, she's tried, or, I kind of know a little bit about it, but I don't really know. But so for the most part, there will be some people that don't know what it is. And so for them, I actually, like, for my personality, I straight up say, okay, so here's my spiel, just so you're aware of it. And, Perfectly Posh is a natural-based pampering line. We only use the best of ingredients. There's none of the bad ingredients that are more commonly used brands. So you feel good about using these ingredients. Everybody in the family can, it varies depending on how my mood is for the day. But my spiel is like very short, and it pretty much is like overview of Posh. And I tell them that's the overview of Posh. Now, and then after that formality, then I delve into, like, what are you guys looking for? Or this is my favorite. Oh my gosh, smell this, and then that's when I feel like the contagious Posh love really shines, is when you're able to talk about the product and you forget that you are like the entertainer of the party, because you're just there to share Posh and you love Posh, right? I would think so, right? The majority of us, I'm sure everyone has passion for the product. So that's where you want that conversation to lead to, is about the product and how amazing the BFF is and how you dream about the gender bender or something like that, right? Something ridiculous if that's your personality, but it gives people an understanding of how much you love the products and how different the products can be. Okay, so that's how kind of my basic outline for a party is that I'll just do a spiel for like a minute and then I kind of just delve in and I just like, and if they are a little bit more hesitant to try things, because some people won't just go straight into my tester box and start pulling everything out, then I will, maybe pull out a handful of things, my favorites usually, and then just kind of be like, hey, favorite hand cream, this is awesome because it's non-greasy. It has apricot kernel oil in it. I love having it by my desk and on my purse, in my purse, and I like that it doesn't get fingerprints everywhere. That's my favorite scent. There's that. Face mask. Oh my gosh, have you guys ever tried a face? Like, who here has not tried a face mask? Face masks are amazing. My favorite way to pamper cackle spackle is a must-have, right? That's another product that people are going to be able to talk about. And then if they ask questions, if they're like, well, my face is a little sensitive, what do you have for dry skin? Dry, sensitive skin. Like, oh my gosh, I know exactly what you need for that. Here is this, and then you can pull out something that works better for them. But basically, I love being able to turn the conversation into something that, like, I'm so excited about this. Let me tell you about it, And for some of our like people here, like in our team, have had me at their party when they were a hostess, and I have been like, oh my gosh, guys, there's this new product I just tried, and it's so amazing. You guys have to try it. It's amazing, right? Which I'm sure if you guys are watching this later, you guys know who you are because I've talked to you and you're pretty much like, I wasn't gonna try it till Simone went nuts about it, and then I tried it and now I understand, right? And that's kind of what is awesome about a home party and why I think home parties are so important is because you get to do that with somebody one-on-one, face-to-face. You can tone comes across better, vibes are better read, and it's more comfortable. Home party or Facebook parties and online parties, you can't really do that. You can't be like, you keep eyeing that certain product or it's harder for someone to reach out and be like, hey, I have a question about this. Home parties are where it's at. It really should be like the bread and butter of your business. So hopefully you guys are going to feel a little bit more comfortable about this and delve back in because the return on investment on these is very high. And because we have like fizzy bath sets now that you can do at the home parties and have that as a great takeaway for people to take home that night, it's just a nice way for it's instant gratitude, right? Or oh my gosh. Anyway, they can get it right away. They can try all the different products, and it's just a really great way to do it. And it's not scary, I promise. It is scary. Like sometimes I'll be like, oh my gosh, I just don't know. I just don't know. Like I don't know if I want to. Like I feel kind of worried about this. I just don't know how I feel about it. But then I go. And I just love it because I'm surrounded by all these amazing people and I get to talk about Posh and I just get to have a girls' night out. I'm like a lot of us, I do what I do day to day, every day, and it's kind of boring. It's kind of monotonous. So having a girls' night is awesome. So even if it's just for your own like mental break, then you should try it. But yeah, so basically this is what I do at parties, right? So the spiel, share the product, and delve in. Some groups are going to be more wanting to interact, wanting to try. Others are not going to be so much. But you talk about what your product passion is and kind of see what they like. Talk to your hostess, have your hostess share what her favorite products are, or maybe you can talk about what her favorite products are and then she can kind of chime in why she loves the snarky bar, etc., right? And then have that as a way to do that, or have that as a way to get people a little bit more interested, okay? Because having that hostess to help you along the way is so important. You are a stranger to the people at the party. The hostess, however, is not. So they trust the hostess's opinions way more than you do. And I'm sure you guys have seen that in like online parties and stuff like that, is that having a hostess help you is so much better. Having that relationship where you guys are both helping each other out is going to have a far better outcome than if you were just doing it by yourself. Okay? All right, now, after you've kind of gotten over your fear of actually doing the party and like, having all that stuff happening, you need to keep in mind that you need to get contact information to follow up, add them to your VIP group. You can make it an easy contest if you want. Everyone that joins during this party, I will hand you something before you leave, or you can get like a coupon off of something. I don't know. You can come up with something fun. Oh, thanks for jumping on, Ginger. But yeah, so like it's just it's there's different ways for you to do it without you feeling like you're selling to people. But yeah, so make sure you get contact information. Make sure you let people know how they can find you. And what's kind of fun and that I've seen the different people do is that you can follow up in different ways. You can either have these customers leave with a pack of samples to take home. Maybe they ordered the stuff at the party, but they're not going to get it really quickly. So maybe you already have some of the samples. So you're going to give these samples so that you can tie them over until their order arrives. That's kind of a fun way to do it, right? That's not something really fun and very simple and a really great customer service thing, right? They remember you. They have your information. If they didn't order, send them home with a sample pack or something. Have them try something at home. Maybe they didn't feel comfortable trying a face mask there. Take it home, pamper yourself when you get a chance, and then they have your information, right? And then after all of this is said and done, after you've gotten your party in and stuff like that, it's not over. Don't think that it's over, because you need to make sure you're staying in touch with your hostess, because you're going to deliver these orders to them if you had it shipped to you, right? Or if you had it shipped individually. You want to make sure you're following up with these customers in one way or another with a thank you card or something like that, right? And make sure that you have that one-on-one again with them to let them know that you are there if they have no idea how to use the stripper, or if they're like, why is the coconut oil stuck? Okay, this is just one of those questions that some people might have, and they just don't know who to ask. But if you reach out to them, it's a lot easier for them to reply to you versus trying to find your information and then trying to send that off, right? So keeping contact is super important, especially so that you can get reorders, you can get bookings, and so if they weren't quite ready to place an order yet, they know how to find you in the future. Okay, and then rebookings, booking off of that home party is also really important, and a great way for you to sustain your business and to keep it going. Especially through the holiday months, you're going to want to get your calendar booked ahead of time, scheduled in and stuff, because the holiday season is coming up and people do get busy, but it's also gift giving season. So you want to make sure that you have your calendar ready to go and that you're getting things in the calendar. So you can always offer booking prizes for anyone that books a party off of your hostess's party. If your hostess gets so many people booked, maybe she'll get a prize from you, or maybe she gets a prize for attending her friend's party or something like that. There's a lot of different ways for you to do that, but you want to hopefully walk away with more bookings, okay? Your goal is to walk away with 3 bookings, okay, off of that one. And sometimes, yes, I understand that it's like super scary to even think, getting 1 was hard. Getting 3 is even harder, right? But the reason why I say 3 is 1, to replace the one that you just did, so you've sustained your business, right? 2, to grow your business, so now you have that sustained level, but now you're going to grow even more, right? And then the third one is your just in case one of the other 2 fall through, okay? So that is why we kind of hope for 3 bookings, okay? Like I said, it can be super scary, but stay in contact, build those relationships, and you never really know what can happen, okay? Does anyone have any questions about home parties or anything else to add? Thank you guys so much for jumping on. I saw a bunch of you guys jump on, but if you have any questions, feel free to ask. All right. So really, I hope this was a good way for you guys to see that home parties are worth it and that they're not as scary as you might think they are. Um, for some people, you've been with Posh for a while and you've never actually had a home party, and that's okay. This is a great time to have that and to kind of relaunch your business because we have a new catalog. So this is like, it's just, excuse me, it's a great excuse to introduce more people to Posh and to share your love of Posh with other people, okay? If you are brand new and you're not quite sure because you don't really know everything yet and you're just barely getting a footing in Posh, your home party can be your launch party. And if you don't know something, that's okay. You don't have to know everything in order to start with Posh because if you don't know, you can find out. You know, there's lots of different ways for you to find out. You can reach out to your sponsor or your upline. You can look for different trainings on it. You can look in the catalog sometimes, depending on what the question is. But it really is just a great way and a great excuse for you to get a bunch of people together and have some fun, some pampering fun. Okay. Um, all right. If there are no questions, I'm going to jump off. I do want to remind you guys that we also have previous trainings on like home party basics and all that fun stuff. There's other consultants that have also done home party training that I would recommend that you take a look at as well. Also be sure to take a look at hostess coaching trainings because having your hostess sort of be your like partner in crime kind of thing, your co-pilot in the party, you are co-hosts together. So having them as including them in the planning and executing of the party is going to lend for a more successful party. Okay. And again, return on investment can be super huge on these home parties, so it is worth it. It is worth getting outside of your comfort zone to try it, and you're going to meet some new people while you're doing it. So it's even, it's a win-win situation. Okay, I don't see any questions, but if anyone is watching this later and you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. You can always reach out to on the team page. You can reach out to your sponsor, your upline, Premier, whatever. But if you guys have any questions, feel free to just ask. Yeah, hopefully this was helpful. I will talk to you guys later. Have a wonderful night. I'll talk to you guys later. See you guys.